All right, everyone. Very exciting today. I got Adam Ocean here with us. So we just became friends here recently, right, Adam?
Yeah, it wasn't long ago.
No, it feels like we know each other forever. It's just like the first time I met you, your vibe was extremely high. I know you've been in health and wellness. You have a big following, and you've been using some pretty cutting edge technologies. We get into slightly also just like the frequency stuff. But the purpose of today's call, Adam, is to talk about. You're one of the biggest leaders on my team, by the way, and you're very insightful when it comes to phenomenal products. And so I trust your opinion and your judgment about this. What can you tell me that you have noticed taking the world's first, I call this a mitochondria enhancement technology by MoreMito? What can you
All
tell
right.
us?
Well, thanks again for this interview. Yeah, we connected real quick. I'm like, all right, good. Somebody who likes to, help people actually have some fun with it and not treat it like a job because it's not supposed to be. It's supposed to be
Yeah.
exciting and fun. So yeah, I saw the MoreMito, saw the ingredient list. I've been involved and done everything kind of under the sun. I love playing with natural health products, neuroplasticity enhancement, consciousness enhancement. I do a little bit of a lot of bit of everything. And I had somebody hit me up about the MoreMito, and they're like, "Hey, I got this opportunity, this new product." I'm like, "Shut up, I don't care." I'm like, I just don't even want to hear about it. I'm busy right now. They're like, "No, no, no, just check out the ingredients," and they screenshotted me the ingredients. I went, "Okay, I changed my mind. I'm interested." You're like, I'm real interested now. Let's talk about this.
What
So,
caught you about those ingredients? What caught you about those ingredients?
not only that there were 44 of them, I mean, that was a big one, but anybody can slap together, a million ingredients and say, "Hey, look at this cool thing I made," just because they put 44 ingredients into
Right.
it. But they're not only all really good ingredients and specifically for mitochondrial enhancement and cleaning up the reactive oxygen species and just returning the mitochondria back to where they're supposed to be. And many of them have longevity components to them as well. But there's a synergistic component between all of them that if you play with natural health long enough, you're able to go, "Oh, wait, okay, this pairs really well with this one."
Right.
And what made me extremely excited about it, because I hate companies that release like an energy supplement and they're like, "Hey, here's a bunch of stimulants. How's this sound? Let's get you addicted. Here's,
Yeah. Yeah.
350
Always right.
milligrams of caffeine so you
Let's wear
can't
out your adrenal
wrong."
glands.
Oh, yeah,
Uh,
it just completely fries your adrenals. So looking at the product when I took a peek at it, the fact that it wasn't stimulants, it was all support. That was the biggest thing that sold it to me, of going like, "Okay, this is not only safe, but this is beneficial for you to use every day." Versus some of these other ones I've seen that they just loaded up with these stimulants of some kind. It's like,
Also, the fact it's nanotized, also, right, with all these oils too.
yeah, the I was able to visit with the owners and took a look at the guy who formulated it and his credentials. I went, "Okay, he not only did like all the right ingredients, he did them with the synergistic benefit. He kept out all the stimulants, but then the bioavailability being at nanosized and nanoparticle or particulates." I went, "Okay, this guy slammed it with this thing."
Right.
So I say, "All right, you know what? I'm willing to bite. I'm not going to do anything with it because I don't want to like." I was convinced already. For
That
me,
changed quick. Yeah.
yeah, I was convinced for me anyway. So I said, "Okay." I ordered it and I overnighted it and I got it the next day. As soon as I took it, within 5 minutes, I went, "Oh, geez, this stuff is great," because my body temperature went way up. My mental clarity went way up because I run like 15 different businesses and I've got 10,000 different hobbies and I speak, read, and write biblical Greek and Hebrew and
There's
Aramaic.
24 hours in a day.
Yeah, there's only like 50 hours, 50 or 100 hours in a day in my world. So usually come like 2 o'clock, I'm like, "Oh man, you know what? I need some kind of a break." And sometimes I'll play piano, or I've got 200 pounds of quartz crystal singing bowls and I'll go chill out and do that. And it takes me a little time to be like, "Okay, I'm calmed down." I go back to whatever I'm doing. The more might about 5 minutes later, it's like I took an hour nap. I went, "Okay, my brain doesn't feel fried. My mood is completely shifted. I can feel my mitochondria and energy production going way up."
Mhm.
And it was just super refreshing to go, sweet. For me, the whatever I spend, if you spend, I go through a whole bottle a month. So you spend about $100 for a month on a supplement, but
Right.
it cut out all these other piles of stuff that I'd have to like deal with. And then it's just a pain. And then you forget. And then, you just, it simplified so many things,
Right.
but it didn't just cut them out. because I don't have any health issues really. It's just everybody wants more energy. As you start getting up there, you need your mitochondria functioning. You want your mental capacity always up where it's supposed to be. And I love neurohacking and neuroplasticity enhancement and cognitive enhancement. But this one was just 5 minutes into it, bang. My whole mental mood turned around. My brain didn't feel fried, from all the different 50 things that I was doing. Yep. And for me, that's extremely important, number one, because then I can go hit the gym in the middle of the day and get back into it because I took some time off. So I'm like, okay, sweet. I'm mentally back ready. I'm not exhausted. I'm ready to go to the gym. And then I just keep dosing it throughout the day. I get done with, being at the office here, doing whatever I'm going to do. Well, I got 4 kids at home that the moment they get home, it's Dad, come jump on the trampoline. Dad, they're just, I get right. you, which is awesome. But
you want to feel good for them. You want to feel good for your kids.
But you burn out at the end of the day going like, oh my gosh, now I got to go home. That their energy level's still way up here because all they've been doing is playing all day and they took naps and whatever else. So
Adam, you've taken a lot of different products out there. You and I both have been exploring biohacking for quite some time. How do you feel that this product compares to, because it's like you look through all your vitamins that you take in your entire lifetime, you're like, I'm not taking that product anymore. Like it's happened over and over, but I cannot foresee we're also looking for the best things or some things that can replace things that we take in the past. How do you feel like this is right now at the forefront? Would you say this is kind of like the ultimate consumable right now?
Yeah, I've got cupboards full of stuff that I don't really use just because I'm like, it's a pain, the time, the number of them I got to kind of mix together. So this is one of those ones that it's not only is at the forefront, but this is gonna be at the forefront for a pretty extended period of time because they just nailed it. Mm-hmm. Trying to replace this one supplement is going to be really difficult because of the number of things it does. My wife this is one of the only things that she jumped onto with me being like, hey, I want to be part of this. I want to do something with it because she's just what we call like a low responder.
Oh, okay. Doesn't respond to much at all.
I've had 1,000 different natural health products that she's tried, from essential oils to supplements to adaptogens to everything under the sun. She responds to nothing. But I think it was maybe the same day, next day we took some, and it was pretty brisk outside because we're in Minnesota. Weather was cooling down. We both took some. 5 minutes later, we're both like, ooh, man, I'm warm, and it doesn't feel like a stimulant burnout warm. It was just like my cells are functioning, my metabolism's going up, the stress response.
It's fun to stack. You can stack it with your coffee. I mean, even on alcohol, I had some drinks last night. You just feel like $1 million off of whatever you're doing in life. Well, how do you feel? Let's talk about like the psychology. How has it changed? Like because you're very conscious, obviously. How has it changed how you think about things? Because we have people, that are quitting smoking weed. They have it has like what can you say about how it has this like inner talk about how you start having realizations on this stuff, almost like a plant-based medicine, like you know what I'm talking about?
Yep. It's just one of the huge things that happens is, mental health awareness is a big one for a lot of people, especially because we got 99% of the population lives in PTSD level stress. And that stress level then destroys your digestion, which destroys your digestive tract, which destroys your immune system, which destroys your mental health, because it's also interconnected with each other. And a huge component of not only the stress component, but the mental health component is, depression is extremely linked to inflammation. In a way, when your mitochondria starts to go down, your brain uses more energy than anything else in the body. And so when your energy levels start dropping, the brain doesn't fire and doesn't work the way it's supposed to. And so I don't really have a problem, I deal with basically anything mentally. I've been through everything. So it's just like, I don't have to like depression or any mental illness. I'm just like, listen, I have been through I was a 300-pound alcoholic for a while with holes in my brain thanks to what's called the military suicide pill Lariam that they put me on. Ooh. So yeah, it's like a fluoroquinolone that literally just eats holes in your brain. So I was all kinds of screwed up.
I've taken 20 different antidepressants also, and this definitely really, from day one, I have not had a single thought of negativity or depression since then. Not a single one after 20 something antidepressants. But this call is about you, brother. So let's talk about what about like with strength and stuff like that. What have you noticed like because I'm working on this stuff and my body's just like, it is really feeling it. How are you? How's your physical performance been on this product?
Honestly, I haven't done that much with it.
Ooh.
I haven't, I've just kind of been busy, haven't gotten back into the gym. I actually had a period of time where I had an insanely powerful emotional detox that my entire spine recorrected
On
itself.
this product?
Not on this product, on one that I specifically made, but we're going to put a boop into that. That's not something I really want to get people into, but it left me bedridden for about 2.5 months this summer because my spine was all crooked and did all this other weird stuff. And when it finally went and straightened to normal, it hurt really, 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 really bad. So I've been just slow coming out of that, of going, I don't want to jump into stuff real hard yet. It was the end of the fall, it being nice out. I've been busy. My kids have been keeping me active at just being out. So I can't, in honesty to people, say I can't say it's been jacking me. I can't say it's been jacking me in the gym because I haven't been hitting it very hard or anything yet.
Well, it definitely has. Well, we see a lot of amazing testimonials out there. It's almost like, what does this product not do? Right? Is kind of right. Like you're like, hey, when I talk to people, I'm like, give me your laundry list of stuff that with your health that's going on right now. Let's discuss this. And they get diabetes, depression, high blood pressure, blah blah blah. I'm like, okay, done. In my mind is what I'm thinking of this, right? So, but what are some of the other things that you have seen from the people that have taken this without making medical claims here?
Yeah, the biggest one, just number one, people have the energy to do stuff.
That's motivation, right?
Get the motivation, not only mentally, but physically, are able to go not feeling burnt out. They notice their metabolism going up, the libido's going up, people with their eye problems.
Let's focus on libido. Libido really good on this, huh?
It's terrible because I started it right after my wife had, I started it right after my wife had baby number 4, and I'm like, listen, she's not ready for this yet. So I'm kind of like, this sucks. There's too much libido here. How do I dampen it? Shit.
So I would say that this is better than Viagra. I've taken Viagra for fun a long time ago just to try it. When you say it's better than Viagra, it's better.
I haven't taken Viagra recreationally. I've taken some other libido enhancement products, and
nothing compares. So when you say
it's just annoying. It's just annoying being like,
right.
You feel like that, you get a little bit older into our age and you'd be like, oh my God, that's right. I remember when I was a, late teenager of what this was like. I'm like, this is really annoying. No wonder I didn't get anything done.
It's kind of like being 18 in chemistry class, sitting there. Never mind. I'm just thinking past thoughts growing up as a kid, right? Well, that's good. Let me see. What can you say about what people have experienced? That you talk about the motivation. What I say, Adam, is that this actually increases your free will. Tell me if you agree with this statement right here. That increases the free will. Like they say, we have free will as humans, but when we're tired, get back to motivation things, like you don't want to do some things once in a while. I'll hold this off. But if you said, I just want to get done, that's what we're experiencing here. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, it's not just free will, it's also willpower. Because when you're not stressed out, when your brain isn't burnt out, when you suddenly, it's kind of like taking a triple shot of espresso without the jitters and any of that other stuff. Your whole brain resets and you just go, I don't have to make these shitty choices. Because I'm not in like the stress response of like, oh God, the pizza sounds good tonight. I don't feel like cooking. Be like, let's just slap in a dank pizza. Pizza is probably one of my favorite things in the world. Like a really good pizza with like a white truffle olive oil for the sauce and all the different fancy cheeses. I'm in Minnesota, and so we got these really great, all the cheeses from everywhere in here. But I love a dank pizza, but having that, right around the 2-3 o'clock when I don't feel like it, I don't want to go home. And then the kids are bombarding me and they want me on the trampoline. I'm trying to cook and we got the brand new baby and everything else out there. And our 2-year-old's on 24/7 suicide watch because that kid is just active. She's a little me. And I'm like, oh my God, this is what my parents felt like. Oh crap. So having it this one thing solves so many problems on the fly. That it's kind of one of, if I were to go through an entire supplement store of any natural health pharmacology supplement store, whatever it is, almost every other single product that I can think of would be backburner to this because we've got people with with mold and with Lyme mold toxicity. They've got Lyme, and both of those destroy your lymph system and your mitochondria, chew up all these free radicals. So the mitochondria is not functioning appropriately. This has been a really great one for that, because if you got mold and Lyme, what do you have? Chronic fatigue. Your mitochondria is just burned out.
Mm-hmm. Is
So
that a respiratory issue then, to some extent too?
What's that?
Is that a respiratory issue? No?
Not so much. It's just like the mold. It stagnates everything.
Mm-hmm.
So the lymph just pools and stagnates because it's overloaded with stuff. Then the mitochondria slow down because there's so many reactive oxygen species that they can't respirate appropriately and make the energy. So it cascades into everything, that you're out of energy. So the lymph system pulls up. So you're not detoxing. So you're making less energy again in the mitochondria. Then the immune system can't deal with it. And then you're stressed out. And then when you're stressed out, it's that laundry list of things of saying, if we just give the body the energy to do what it needs to do, because a big common mistake that a lot of people make that have this low energy, especially in the Lyme and the mold community, you don't want to just give them a mitochondrial stimulator. Because the problem is, if you just stimulate the mitochondria a bunch and they start burning energy, the problem is, I like to look, this is my favorite way to put this into like the layman's terms so that people can understand why is mitochondrial health so important. The mitochondria is what actually makes the energy in your cell. I'm making no claims here, but every single cancer is related to mitochondrial mutation. Because your body lives in a hypoxic environment and it's in anaerobic respiration the whole time, the mitochondria, because of this low energy environment, has to mutate in response to that. And that's what causes our biggest problem. But we're just going to boop over there. Once again, no claims being made there. I'm just talking about a basic biological function. But your mitochondria, to think of it, this is the best way to talk about mitochondrial dysfunction, is imagine your mitochondria is like your fireplace or your wood stove. You're putting sugar in and energy, and it's burning it up, and it's making energy, and it's doing its thing and heats the byproduct. But what's the other byproduct? Ashes. Eventually, as you're burning all this fuel in any stove that it is, any kind of wood stove, you start building up ashes.
You need to get it out of there.
Yep. So once that wood stove fills up with ashes, I can't just stuff more wood into it. That's not going to make it work. Mm-hmm. And so a mitochondrial stimulator is like throwing gasoline at it. Right. You're not fixing anything. Yeah, it might puff up for a little bit. Yeah, but as this continues to build up, the ashes are no longer that white, puffy, easy to clean out stuff. As you start choking the fire, it turns into that black, sooty charcoal ash that just plugs everything up. I mean, that's why people have to clean their chimneys, because that soot and other stuff builds up in there. Right. That's what mitochondrial dysfunction is like. When your wood stove is full of ashes and your chimney's plugged up from the soot, you can't just put more wood into it. You need to clean those ashes out with your reactive oxygen species. Right. Get them cleaned out. Let the mitochondria start functioning again so it can burn fuel. And so I said, don't just stimulate it. If the mitochondria is already terribly inefficient and not running well because it's all plugged up with ashes, if you're just stimulating it, all you're doing is making more ashes and unburned fuel that makes the problem even worse. So what you're saying is this actually cleans that out also at the same time. This actually cleans it out, and it lets it start doing everything starts burning appropriately, getting the junk out of there. What ingredients in the formulation do you attribute to that, you believe? The problem is there's a big list of them. Yeah, it's a lot of them. So I mean, of them are like the olive leaf extract and the turmeric. I mean, because olive trees live for thousands of years. So getting that olive leaf extract from it is it's this high level antioxidant that just increases longevity. Yeah. And it's got, benefits to telomere length. And the problem is there's so many in there. How do I say, which one am I going to give a class on today? Because this is a 44-hour class. And one thing about this product, it's not just the mitochondria is actually having an effect on the lengthening with the telomeres. We got ingredients like astragalus inside there, for example, dealing with the telomeres. We see other products out there on the market that have just different effects on the hormonal system. I'm coming back to this product helps with so many things. It's like, what's nice about what I do notice is all the products I do have in my pantry over there, when I take them on top of this product, my body is absorbing nutrients. Have you noticed a difference in your absorption of nutrients taking on this stuff? Like whenever you eat other things, it's having an effect at all? Yeah, and that has to do a lot with being able to deal with the stress response with it. Because if you've got low energy, this is just stressing out, making you a cycle. Then you're in fight or flight instead of rest and digest. And if you're not in rest and digest, then your body lowers its gastric, or it raises the gastric pH, so you don't make as much stomach acid, so you're not digesting things appropriately. And then your microbiome shifts because it's trying to digest food that's, or deal with food that's undigested or even starts rotting in your digestive tract, and that's what can cause a bunch of this. So this one, it's got adaptogenic capacities, it's got mitochondrial cleaning, it's got the longevity. It just says we took your whole cupboard and put everything into one, but we used only the good stuff that works together.
You sound pretty stoked about it.
I freaking love this stuff. I got 4 kids that I want to be doing a whole bunch of stuff with all the time on top of all my business and my hobbies. The longer you can keep me awake in a better mood at the higher energy, I freaking love life. I don't have time to slow down.
Tell me about this stuff next, please.
I don't do much with it, I'll be honest.
Ooh. So my experience with this product here, Adam, the Rejuvenate. So we got the Restore here, we got the Rejuvenate. So from the inside out and the outside in. What I do with this, what I'm really noticing about this is, for $60 a month, this is enough to go ahead and take care of any cellulite you have on your body. I notice a huge difference. I've been using this on my stomach, my lower back here, dad bod area there, and then also good for pain and joints, obviously. But this is enough to do your whole entire face. I mean, I'm 47. Our skin has been doing really well off this. So what does it sound like you've been using it? But also what this does for the fat, it's completely noticeable. You've heard of cold sculpting before, correct? Cold sculpting, right? So when people go and the women spend guys to do as well until they hear about this stuff, but they go spend like $300 a session, whatever it is. They're basically like trying to freeze the fat, and it's expensive. And really what I see in this product right here blows away a session of easily a session or 2 or 3 of cold sculpting where you'd spend like $1,000. I'm talking overnight is how fast this works on at least my little bit of fat I got. So anyways, but you've heard some good stuff about the skincare, obviously, right? The face.
I've heard some good stuff about it. I've never had an issue with my skin. The one thing I am looking forward to using it on is because I need to put a little more hair back on that head. Oh. I am excited to try that and see what happens with it. I'm not making any claims. I've seen some cool stuff with it. I haven't had enough people using it for long enough either to tell me a ton of different feedback, because my excitement has been so much contained with just the Restore. Because that one is just, I'm like, listen, this works so good. I literally don't even care about the topical, because I just use that one topically. I'm like, I don't care if it's expensive. I'm just going to put it all over me. I'm going to drink it like crazy. I'm like, I don't give a shit. It's too good.
It's just amazing. I definitely encourage you to do that. What I was going to say is, in right now you are out of the product because the order kind of got a little thrown off. Correct? So you're not on the MoreMito like I am right this very minute. Correct?
I'm pissed. Yeah, I ran out of it. But
so this is Adam not on Mito. So let me ask you, how long have you not taken it now? You got a shipment coming right now. We're gonna have that resolved in a day or two, whatever. But
I've probably been out for like a week. And
how have you felt being on the product?
I'm pissed. I'm furious.
Besides being pissed, what have you noticed? Like, I'm just curious because I can't imagine getting off this product. Okay,
so I mean that's why I'm pissed, because then the energy level takes more
overriding and everything else you got going on, right?
Yeah, I'm like, listen, now I got to focus harder on keeping it, because it's sort of that willpower thing we talked about of saying, Ryan was 5 minutes late for his call today. Do I just cancel it and say screw it? And I'm just gonna go relax with the kids. Just those things. If it's
the small little thoughts, right? Exactly.
The dumb little crap of being like, okay, I got to actually slow down, consciously override this. Whereas if I got it, I'd have been like, I'm like, okay, listen, I don't care if Ryan's coming or not. I'm going to do something else until he gets here. I feel like, yeah, it's his problem. I'm in a great mood. So that's why I'm saying, like, when I'm pissed I love having it in the morning. The other thing is what people don't really understand, and this is the cool part about it, because it's not a stimulant.
Right.
It's also great for helping with sleep. And people say, well, you're talking about it's giving you more energy. How is that going to help with sleep? Mm-hmm. This is where rest and digest comes in. When you rest, your body is regenerating everything in the body, from the immune system to your cells to healing.
Right.
That requires energy. And if you got low mitochondrial function, what happens? You don't sleep well, because your energy's too low.
What's the craziest dream you've had on this stuff? Or how would you say this affects your sleep is the question.
I would just say when it comes time to go to bed, it's because my day feels so productive. My mind is like, shut off, we'll deal with it tomorrow. We're going to pop right up instead and go, bam, get back to work. So The dreaming that comes from it, my dreams are already like, I call it managed insanity, is sort of how I live my life every single day of the things that go on. So I can't say my dreams have been any crazier or not than what already goes
Well, you're
on. But
doing
a
a lot of
huge,
you're doing a lot of biohacking stuff, the frequency stuff that you and I are involved in. But one thing I will say, I call this transcendental sleep. If you look up the definition of transcendental, it means basically difficult to put into words. These dreams are very, very deep and meaningful. So I think you get rest in this. Most people are going to get rest in this in a way they never really have before. At all. I'm so blown away by how a product can have such an immediate effect. And a lot of, I mean, with every product, there's always testimonials out there, but there's something I would say about the truth frequency when we speak about this product right now, like the passion behind it, the passion and truth behind this, that resonates with people where they understand something's a little different about this product. They're talking about like consciousness and stuff like this and free will and things like this with this product right here.
yeah, I don't need to stuff people full of fluff and bullshit. Pardon the language, but it's like, I don't have to bullshit people about it.
I feel like I owe one swear word in this conversation. I'm waiting for it for myself. Go ahead.
I think he had one maybe, but
Shit. There it is.
So I don't have to BS anybody about it. Another component is the emotional component to it, because people that, we have a lot of enhanced consciousness enhancement going on in the world right now. Humanity is really moving through a lot. And there's a lot of people that are working with the emotional detox and really working on themselves. This is one of the most important products to use. I mean, because there's essential oils that you can go in and stimulate the amygdala and go through the olfactory cavity. And there's a lot of different other trauma detox modalities and emotional detox.
It's so interesting because we talk about trauma detoxing. It's like, this is why people go do ayahuasca, for example. They go to meet Mother Aya, and detox traumas, or they do you look at the trends out there, whether it's microdosing on mushrooms or microdosing on ketamine and stuff like this, right out there, like doing hallucinogenics. Like, I don't even have any desire to do magic mushrooms anymore, microdosing. I don't have any desire to go smoke DMT or do, whatever, to go ahead and try to have some realization. Like, I feel completely just top notch right now.
Just being, and the thing is too, that emotional detoxing chews up a bunch of energy because your subconscious is thrusting up all of these things the conscious mind then has to process. The other thing too, for you to,
like when you defrag a computer, for example.
Yeah, when you defrag a computer and when you detox trauma, in order to actually successfully detox that trauma, not only mentally, but on the cellular level, you have to experience the same level of stress that was incurred at the event. So if you're too stressed out and you don't have the energy, you might be able to mentally revisit it, but your cells don't have the energy to say, okay, we can fully bring this up into our sphere of awareness, deal with it, and then process it away, like defragging the computer. This is the huge part people don't understand about the emotional component, is that if you're too stressed out, not going to get the emotional trauma out of you. You can try, and so then people are jumping around microdosing and ayahuascas, and like, here's the thing, I got no problem with that. Knock yourself out, do what you want. I've done lots of different things in my life, and that's fine. But the thing is, for people that are looking for sustainable results, address that energy level so that you can then work with these other modalities to make these permanent changes, not just like cool, I'm getting stoned, or I had a drug experience, or I tripped out, and then you go right back to everything you were.
Right, exactly.
That doesn't help you at all. It's like, hey, cool, I saw stuff, and then you go right back to what good did that do?
Yeah, if anything, it makes you more depressed because like, oh gosh, I did all that. I thought I was actually going to do something, but it was a great trip. But Yeah,
now I want to go back and just do that and live in escapism. Be like, this is the point.
Just gonna go fry on mushrooms all day long.
Like, give your body the freaking energy, because when you do that, you can move your mind to the point where you're on point all the time. That if you work with meditation or your other supplements or modalities, I got quartz crystal singing bowls, I got my gorgeous 1924 Steinway. That's the whole point of do that instead and focus on it, instead of say, oh, I'm spiritual and I take a bunch of drugs. Be like, no, you're not, you're douche.
Yeah, you just haven't found the thing that really, really works. You don't know until you know. Some people have called this basically a doctor and a psychologist in a bottle. What does that make you think of right there?
I would say it's a fairly accurate statement to say doctor in a bottle. Yeah, it's going to solve a lot of health issues. I mean, a lot. Not talking cure, but The fact is, when your body's just out of energy, it can't perform any bodily function.
Right.
So if the human body is a self-healing organism, if you will just get yourself out of the way, and that just means just power the body and it'll self-heal itself. That's the biggest thing. We run out of energy, so the body starts getting health issues. And I mean, it's a little more complex because there's the emotional, but that's where we can say psychologist in a bottle. When your brain is functioning, it's not full of inflammation and it's got the energy, you're in a completely different mindset than when if you're like, oh, I'm burnt out, I'm stressed out.
Right.
It's there's a completely different state of being to be in when your brain just functions like it's supposed to.
Definitely. Just touching base on what you said earlier on about when people are going through like emotional detoxes, there is emotional detoxes on this product. Like I've seen people say, oh, I'm getting headaches, I whatever. This is because there's such an energetic rebalancing of the body and mind with this stuff as well. And it's actually getting ready. So I encourage everyone who's listening to this video to drink lots of water when they're taking this product. Even stretching, I've noticed, like I'll do like a cobra to a downward dog, flexing that spine. I'd really recommend working those two at the least, daily stretches in when you start, like you're talking about your spine earlier on, how so much right in the spine. There's just anything that you can do to enhance the mitochondria, whether it's intermittent fasting or cold showers or whatever, added addition to this product is just going to take it to all new levels right there.
Yeah, do massage, do the fascia work, do spinal flow. Every other modality that you've got just works better when your body has the energy to perform its functions.
Let's touch base on. Go ahead. What I was going to say is let's touch base real quick. We got about 4 minutes left here. Talk about the business for those people that want to share this business. How excited are you, and what do you expect people to potentially make without making income claims here? The true opportunity of this for someone.
I like the idea of what I'm going to do is focus on true opportunity than trying to tell people what they're going to make. Number one, though, if you're using the product, you're going to have the energy to go do that because it takes energy to engage and to market and network and create content. That requires energy. It requires focus, the willpower, that sort of things. What's great, I've been in lots of network marketing companies. I'm still in some other ones. I love them. I don't have any overlaps in what I do because each different thing just kind of fills different needs. But I really like how they did this comp plan that they, at the end of the day, they pay out 50% of everything to the distributors by the time they're all done. So there's a 50% payout, which there's a lot of companies can make that kind of claim, and it's not true. The other part that I love about it is it's no nonsense. So it's free to sign up to be a distributor.
I love that.
Also, if you make one retail sale, you're qualified for your commissions for the month. And if you've got a personally sponsored person who makes a retail sale, that qualifies both of you for your sale.
So that's beyond beautiful. Yeah, go ahead.
And so the people that get into it and say, well, I just want to work at like affiliate marketing. I don't want to have to purchase it. Number one, if you're not buying it and using it for like a full bottle every month, dude, woe is you, because you're at, that's okay. Because you're at a disadvantage, meaning I'm going to have more energy to go market when you don't, because you're
cutting yourself completely short in life on so many aspects if you're not on this stuff.
Yeah, but so those that are worried about it, because that is one thing that I don't like in network marketing.
You feel like you have to have
people have to buy 150, 200, 250, $300 worth of stuff they don't need. And I can understand that. And I don't like when that happens. But this company said, make one retail sale, you're qualified. Don't worry about it.
Phenomenal.
You sponsor one person who makes a retail sale.
What else do you like about the company?
I like that it's got
all countries open. I'll just add a few real quick and touch base on what I'm missing here. All countries open. I love the fact also it's instant commissions in your back office getting paid with the option to Zelly straight to your bank. How dope is that for ACH?
Daily, like by the hour. Hey, I made a sale. Pay me. They're like, okay.
I take mine out every single day just to see how much I make the next day, just to be able to keep track and have goals and stuff like that. So
makes it easy. I love the team building component of it because it's no nonsense. They don't make it like all these stupid hoops for you to jump through. It's just go share it. When your team shares it, you guys all win, you make more. And the thing is, nobody complains about the product. That's one of my favorite things.
Like if they're complaining about it, they're just not taking it right, or they're going through a detox,
it's just, it doesn't happen. I don't have anybody that complains about it.
Yeah.
So it's in the natural health world, it's very difficult to find a product that even 50% of people love. It's hard to do that because everybody's so different. You can say, well, I got a collagen that's this, or I got a magnesium that's this, or I got a that's this over here. You know, it's really hard to get above about a 50% love ratio in the natural health world because everyone's so different. This product, as far as I know, is at like 90 to 95% people. The other 5% just aren't using it.
I feel like I just got to pinch myself, and you know, is this really real? I mean, it's just amazing that this is such a blessing in our life. Al, one last minute to go here. What do you would like to say in closing about this, brother?
Closing about it. The great part is not very many people know about this yet. And as the great network marketing guru Jim Rohn said, 90% of network marketing is timing. The product is hands down fantastic. There's no argument. I don't need to blow smoke up your rear end. I don't need to like overinflate this and hype you up on crap that isn't even true. I don't have to do that. So in terms of, listen, you got to put some extra dinner on your table. You got to fill up your gas tank. You got to pay your rent, whatever else, and you're looking for an opportunity.
I want to be able to say, good, this is it, right? Brother, I really appreciate you being on this today, man. I'm so glad to align with you in this project, and we're coming up with biohacking, you know, synchronicities, synergies moving forward for our people that want to be superhuman. So thank you, fellow superhuman, for being with us. We salute you.
Salute you back, brother, man. Thanks for having me.
Take care. Bye-bye.